Hello learners, I welcome you to this module dealing with the sterilization processes involved in fermentation industry. Fermentation is a process which is directed by the activity of a specific organism or a mixture of organisms. Contamination is the biggest threat to any fermentation process. It refers to the growth of undesirable organisms during any part of the fermentation process. Following are the results which may occur if the fermentation suffers from the contamination drawback. If the contaminating organism grows, it absorbs nutrients from the same media and therefore the fermenting organism is deprived of all the nutrients present in the media. This results in low yield. If the type of fermentation is continuous, then the contaminating organism gets a long time period for growth and sometimes it may overpower the fermenting organism. If cells are the product of the fermentation, then contaminating organism will have a deleterious effect upon the final product quality. The contaminant would be able to produce certain compounds which would interfere with the downstream processing of the product. The contaminant may also degrade the desired product. If phage contamination is the case, then the cell lysis of the organism may be the end result. Contaminations can be avoided by taking the following steps. Pure culture should always be used to start the fermentation. The medium should be properly sterilized. The fermenter vessel should be properly sterilized. All the materials to be added in the fermentation process should be sterilized. Aseptic conditions should be strictly maintained throughout the fermentation duration. The degree to which these above parameters should be applied depends upon the type of fermentation to be carried out. Some fermentations are carried out in such an environment where the probability of contamination is very rare. Such fermentations are called as protective fermentations. Brewing of beer is one such example, in which the addition of hop raisins inhibit majority of contaminating organisms. The medium sterilization. Corbett in 1985 suggested that media can be sterilized by filtration, radiation, ultrasonic treatment, chemical treatment or heat. Steam is the most successful method of sterilization and is universally accepted for the fermentation media. For animal cell culture media, filtration is the only option for sterilization because it contains many heat labile proteins. The destruction of the microorganism by steam, that is moist heat, can be explained by the given reaction, that is minus dN upon dt is equal to Kn, where N is the number of viable organisms, T is the time required for sterilization treatment, K is the specific death rate. On integration, we get this equation in the form of Nt upon N0 is equal to e to the power minus Kt, where N0 is the number of viable organisms present at the starting of the sterilization process. Nt is the number of viable organisms present after the period of treatment. Taking a natural logarithm, the equation comes to the form of log Nt upon N0 is equal to Kt. The above equation is represented in graphical form in figure 1. It is clear from the figure that the viable organism number decreases exponentially over the treatment period. The graph gives a straight line, the slope of which is equal to minus k. An infinite time is required to achieve sterile condition, that is Nt is equal to 0. After a certain time, there will be less than one viable cell present. The relationship is displayed in figure 1. For example, the endospore of bacillus is far more heat resistant as compared to the vegetative cell. In sterilization, two types of reactions can cause loss of nutrients in the fermentation medium. The nutrient components may interact with one another during fermentation, or any heat labile component which is present in the medium is degraded after the process of sterilization. The figure 2 explains the relationship between the time of sterilization and the yield of the fermentation product as given by Richards in 1966. It is advantageous to use high temperature for a short time to achieve the desirable sterility of the medium and by avoiding nutrient degradation. The technique which may be effective is to heat the fermentation media to a high temperature for a short time and then cooled rapidly up to the temperature at which the fermentation will proceed. It is not practically possible to heat the complete media of the batch fermentation because it is quite large volume of broth to a very high temperature, holding it for some time and then dropping the temperature to a fixed value. Practically, only one method is feasible where steam is used to sterilize the medium. Industrial fermentations was against the use of continuous sterilization, although it had the ability to save the nutrient quality. Let us now compare the advantages of continuous sterilization over batch sterilization. In continuous sterilization, the nutrient quality was preserved nicely. The scaling up process was easy. Automatic control was also easy. Less time was required to complete one cycle of sterilization. Less corrosion was caused to the fermenter. Advantages of batch sterilization. In batch sterilization, the cost of equipment is quite less. Risk of contamination is also less and manual control of the process is easy. It is easy to use the media which contains high solids. Design of a batch sterilization process. The batch sterilization process is not so successful because it cannot avoid the destruction of nutrients. Still, sometimes batch process is preferred because it is a very efficient method of sterilization. The highest temperature in batch sterilization is 121 degrees Celsius and the procedure which is designed has exposure of the medium to the temperature is kept minimum. Batch fermentation process is designed on the basis of following information: record of increase and decrease in temperatures of the fermentation medium during the heating as well as cooling phases of the sterilization cycle. The number of microorganisms which were originally present in the medium, the thermal death characteristic of the organism, for example, Bacillus stereothermophilus or an alternative contaminant in that particular fermentation. Method of batch sterilization. The batch sterilization of a medium for fermentation is achieved either in a fermentation vessel or in a separate mash cooker. One cooker may be used to serve several fermenters in a medium, may be sterilized and prepared for the next fermentation. Therefore, the time is saved. The medium is sterilized in a cooker in a more concentrated form than would be used in the fermenter. It is then diluted to the form which will enter the fermenter. The dilution is done with the help of sterile water prior to inoculation. This helps in designing of small cookers. In some, the medium is viscous. The power requirement for agitation is judged as it would be required during the fermentation. The viscosity can be handled at the level of sterilization. The requirement of agitation during the in situ sterilization is removed. The fermenter can also be equipped with less powerful motor, obviously because the actual requirement of the agitation is now known. When media is sterilized in cookers, fermenter can be spared and the corrosion effect can be minimized due to high temperature. The cost of sterilization in a separate vessel is as follows. The cost of constructing a batch medium sterilizer is same as that of a fermenter. The cooker serves a large number of fermenters. a complex pipework would be required to transport the sterile medium to various fermenters. This offers a risk of contamination. If there is failure in the cooker, it would hamper the process of all the fermenters connected to it. The design of a continuous sterilizer. Continuous sterilization process involves a time period for which the medium is heated up to a particular sterilization temperature. The medium is held for a particular time at the desired temperature. The cooling period is offered to restore the medium to the fermentation temperature. Temperature of the medium is raised in a continuous heat exchanger and is then maintained in an insulated coil. For a holding period, the length of the holding period is dictated by the length of the coil and the flow rate of the medium. The hot medium is then cooled up to the fermentation temperature by using the heat exchangers. The sterilizer first utilizes the incoming medium as a cooling source and then uses cold water for cooling. High temperatures can be used in continuous sterilization because they reduce the holding time for sterilization and it reduces the degradation of nutrients as well. There are two types of continuous sterilizers used for treatment of fermentation media: the indirect heat exchanger and the direct heat exchanger or the steam injector. The most suitable indirect heat exchangers are the double spiral type. It consists of two sheets of stainless steel around a central axis in form of two spirals. The ends of the spirals are sealed with the help of covers. For the process of sterilization, steam is passed through one of the spiral and the medium is passed through another spiral, and the direction of both the movements are counter flow, that is, in opposite direction. These exchanges are then used to cool the medium when they pass through the holding coil. The unsterilized incoming medium is used to cool due to exchange of heat. The incoming medium is automatically heated before it reaches the sterilizer. The advantage of spiral heat exchangers are they are made up of stainless steel and there is a steel barrier between the liquid and the steam. Due to this barrier, the chances of contamination are negligible. The spiral design helps the system to handle the suspended solids present in the medium. The exchanger has a self-cleaning ability and therefore sedimentation, fouling and burning of the medium inside it has a reduced chance. The indirect plate heat exchangers, in this type of sterilizers, they have a design containing plates through which the stream are circulated in opposite direction. The plates are separated by gaskets. If a problem occurs in the gasket, there are chances of cross contamination between the two streams. The suspended solids can also clog the medium or block the exchanger. Therefore, only soluble medias can be sterilized through the plate exchanger type. One advantage of this type of sterilizer is that if the amount of media to be sterilized is more than the number of plates can be added to the sterilizer to increase its capacity. The continuous steam injector is designed to introduce the steam directly to be sterilized. Continuous steam injectors have the following advantages and disadvantages, which were summarized by Banks in 1979. The time required is very less. It can be used for medium containing suspended solids. The cost is less. Cleaning and maintenance is easy. Efficiency to use the steam is very high. The disadvantages are the problem of foaming can be faced by this method. Direct contact of the medium with the steel requires a very clear steam and free from any anti-corrosion additives. A combination method is used after injection of steam with flash cooling when the sterilized medium is cooled instantly by passing through a valve into vacuum. Continuous sterilization systems are shown in the figure 2. Sterilization of the fermenter. If the medium is sterilized in a batch cooker or continuously, the fermenter is required to be sterilized separately. It is important to sterilize the fermenter as it is important to sterilize the media. It is achieved by heating the jacket or the coils of the fermenter with steam and introducing the steam into the vessel through all the entries apart from the air port that lead from which the air is allowed to exit slowly. The steam pressure is held at 15 pounds in the vessel for 20 minutes. It is important that sterile air is passed through the fermenter after the process is complete or positive pressure is maintained inside. Otherwise, vacuum may be developed and outside air can come inside the fermenter, causing contamination problems. As we have seen earlier, modules that there are many additives which are to be added during the process of fermentation. The nature of the additives differ in nature of the material it is. Therefore, sterilization of these additives is also equally important. The sterilization method chosen depends upon the type of additive to be sterilized, its quantity and the flow rate of the additive inside the fermenter. Additive is required in large quantities. Continuous sterilization is the option. Anstrup et al. 1979 suggested use of continuous heat sterilization for the medium of microbial enzyme fermentations. For heat sensitive materials, filtration is also possible. Sterilization of the liquid waste. Genetic engineering is used for improvement of strain in industrial fermentation. Such engineered organisms pose a risk for the disposal in the environment. The waste biomass of such organisms must be sterilized before it is disposed in nature. The sterilization can be done by batch or by continuous process. Sterilization is done in a holding vessel as shown in figure 4. Sterilization method uses the temperature of the effluent at 60 degrees before it is discharged into the waste. Filter sterilization of fermentation media. The cell culture medium, as already seen, is entirely different medium than normal fermentation process. It contains heat labile proteins in it and therefore normal sterilization procedures do not apply to such media. Any such media which contains even a single component which is heat labile should be filtered through the filter. The filtered medium should be free from fungus, bacteria and mycoplasma contamination. Very less level of absorption of protein on the surface of the filter should occur. The medium should be free of virus and the medium should also be free from endotoxins. Types of filters. The types of filters are available in the market for sterilization of cell culture medium. The membranes are fitted into a stainless steel frame. These membranes are steam sterilizable. A single filter is not able to satisfy all the required characteristics of the filtrate and therefore a sequence of filters are used to get the desired results as shown in figure 5. The first filter is made up of positively charged polypropylene filter which is of the size 5 micrometer. It is called as a pre-filter because it is placed for removal of precipitate, clots, coarse contaminants, etc. The second filter is also positively charged propylene but with pore size of 0.5 micrometer for bulk microbial removal. Some gels are removed, liquid waste materials and toxins. The third filter is a single layer nylon polyester positively charged filter with 0.1 micrometer for removal of microbes, endotoxins. There is yet another protection as a fourth filter. The fourth filter is similar to the third and has of the same size. It is a double layered filter and removes mycoplasma, gives complete stability and final endotoxins are also removed. The combination of these 4 filters help in removal of decreasingly small particles and prolong the life of the final filter. The aerobic fermentation requires a continuous flow of oxygen or air to the fermenter. It is very important source of contamination inside the fermenter. Therefore, it is very essential to sterilize the air where it passes inside the fermenter. In the market, there are many manufacturers which produce filtration systems for air sterilization. The systems are designed similar to that of liquids and it consists of membranes similar to that of liquid filters. The air filters also have a pre-filter system which is upstream to the absolute filter. The pre-filter is actually a protective shield against the large particles like dust, oil, carbon from the compressor and helps in efficient functioning of the actual filter as shown in figure 6. It helps us to understand the layout of such filtration unit, sterilizing system and figure 7 for air sterilization. Sterilization of fermenter exhaust. Initially, when fermenters were used, the air which came out from the fermenter through the exhaust was not cared to be sterilized, but due to use of genetically modified organisms, awareness and safety measures became quite strict and therefore sterilization of air coming out from the exhaust of the fermenter is also now mandatory. The membranes are used to be fixed through this exhaust. A pretreatment to the exhaust gases are necessary sometimes. This pretreatment can be a hydrophobic pre-filter or a mechanical separator to remove the water or fine particles of water droplets and form pretreatment of air. It is then pretreated air is allowed to pass through 0.2 micrometer of filter as it is explained in figure 8. I hope that this module has helped you to understand the topic nicely. Thank you.